How's it going, Bears fans? Welcome back to the Bear Down podcast, where we talk everything Bears every day of the week. This week we have a special segment as we're heading into the playoff weekend here, which is next Sunday against the New Orleans Saints, the 12-4 New Orleans Saints. But today we're covering them in our Meet the Opponent segment of the week. My name is Zach Rimbos. I'm the head editor and video producer here at Bear Down. I'm joined with my co-hosts today, Jaylen McClinton and Parth. Parth and Jaylen, how are you guys doing?
Doing pretty good. Just relaxing. Got no school for I guess 2 more weeks. So I'm just haven't done much, but yeah, just relaxing, I guess.
Yeah, same here. I'm just enjoying the fact that the Bears are in the playoffs again. So, but other than that, just enjoying my last week of break. I guess I go back next Wednesday. So, other than that, I just been chilling and enjoying the break so far.
Yeah, I'm back in school now, so I just had a class just an hour ago. So I'm a little tired. I'm going to be pretty tired in the next couple of days just because the schedule is definitely different after winter break. But anyways, yeah, we're really excited here. We had a good one this week. It's going to be a very important game, obviously for the Chicago Bears, who we don't get to experience very often them in the playoffs because the team has been in a lull for quite some time. But today we're going to be talking about the New Orleans Saints, so let's just jump right into it. So looking at the New Orleans team leaders and stats, we got Drew Brees, who missed a couple of games during the regular season. Taysom Hill stepped up at QB2, but Drew Brees is their leader for passing yards, and that's 2,942 yards on the season for him. He has a 70.5 completion percentage right now. He averages about 7.5 yards per throw, per attempt right now. He's got 24 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. He's been sacked only 13 times, and his rating is 106.4. And then Alvin Kamara, obviously the main threat on the New Orleans Saints offense, that special running back that he is, the dual threat running back that we all know he is, has 932 yards in the season. Obviously we're going to be talking about that a lot down the road, but he actually also leads them in receiving yards at 756. So obviously he's a multi-purpose back, but we'll break that down later. Their leading tackler is Demario Davis, linebacker. He has 119 tackles, and Malcolm Jenkins has 3 interceptions on the season, and that leads for them. So let's get right into what we are expecting. We could break down the Chicago Bears, but I think we all know the team that we have. Mitchell Trubisky is going to have to step up in this game. It'll be very important for him. It's going to be a testament to his game as well as his contract if he will get extended this offseason. If he does win a playoff game, which the Bears haven't done since earlier in the decade, in the 2010s decade, I think that we could see an extension from him, so it's going to be a very important game for him. Obviously, David Montgomery is leading the rushing yards for the Chicago Bears. He's going to have a great game as well. Roquan Smith, hopefully he'll be back for that game. Please excuse that. Hopefully he'll be back for that game, as well as Darnell Mooney, who's out. I don't know how you guys feel about this, but hopefully Buster Skrine is back as well because especially Jaylen Johnson. But Buster Skrine filling in for one of those 2 rookies who had obviously not a good game for both of them, but a hard opponent. So we'll see what happens. But going into this game, there's going to be a lot of questions. So Parth and Jaylen, why don't you guys just tell me your main thoughts about the Saints team and what their strengths are, what their weaknesses are.
The Saints team is a really interesting team to think about. They always play really well in the regular season and then somehow always stumble in the playoffs. But, they went 12-4 this year. Got to give credit where credit's due. They played well with, Drew Brees at quarterback or even Taysom Hill. They're a multi-functional team. Last week they didn't have any running backs. You saw Ty Montgomery go off for 105 yards. And they're a really good offense, led through by Alvin Kamara, who leads the team in receiving yards, rushing yards, multi-purpose back, like you said. He went off for a lot of touchdowns. I think he had, I don't have the exact number of touchdowns on me right now, but I know he had 6 against the Vikings. He's a touchdown threat in the red zone. He's a receiving threat. and a rushing threat. Drew Brees, he's playing a lot better now as he gets more comfortable coming back from that injury. He's an all-time great. There's rumors about him retiring this year, so I'm pretty sure he wants to, finish it off with a championship if he can. And his run starts through Chicago. And then, wide receivers like Michael Thomas, I don't think he'll be playing, but, we all know how good he is. But they also have Emmanuel Sanders, Jared Cook. Really good team on that offensive side of the ball. Defensively, they've played well in games. Lately, they've struggled. But again, I expect them to come out on fire. That team definitely played well against us in, I think, week 6 it was, when we lost 26-23 in overtime. Nick Foles was the quarterback at the time for the Chicago Bears, so, things were different. But they're a balanced team. They're 12-4 for a reason. They've been in the playoffs for, I think, 4 to 5 years consistently. There's a reason to that. It's a tough challenge, so, yeah.
Yeah, same here. Like Parth said, this is a very talented Saints team. They have a very talented roster. Of course, they have a very good offense led by Sean Payton, who's one of the best offensive mind head coaches in this league. He's continued to lead his team to success, for the last 10 plus years. So Drew Brees, he was out for a couple weeks. I know he had a lacerated, he had some broken ribs and had a lacerated lung. But Taysom Hill was able to step up and continue to win games for them. So like Parth said, they obviously have Alvin Kamara. Since we're playing on Sunday, it's a possibility that he plays. If we played on Saturday, he would have been automatically out. But on Sunday, if he can have a negative test, he will play. So I know that's something that we'll have to worry about. But like you said, they have Emmanuel Sanders, Jared Cook. He always gives us problems when we played him. The last 2 years, he's had a touchdown on us. Taysom Hill, the last 2 years, has scored a touchdown on us. So we always have to be wary of his ability to play running back, tight end, or quarterback sometimes. So this is definitely a talented team. This is going to be definitely a hard game for our defense. That's been a liability. The last month of the season. And then on defense, they have a lot of guys. They have Cameron Jordan, Marshawn Lattimore, Malcolm Jenkins in that secondary as well, Marcus Williams, and a lot of talent, Demario Davis as well. So this is definitely a very talented Saints team. They always have a good regular season, but like Parth said, when they get in the playoffs, they just they crumble. So hopefully they can crumble against us. We will be in the Superdome. We'll be in New Orleans. Thank God it's no fans, but because I would really be scared if they were fans, in the Superdome for this playoff game. So definitely going to be a hard game for us. A lot of people think we shouldn't be in this position. Yes, we were 8-8, but we fought back to be in the playoffs, and I'm just happy we're here.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this is a very, very important matchup for the Chicago Bears, and you got to respect Drew Brees for coming back out after breaking those ribs and what he went through, because that is not an easy injury to recover from, especially as a quarterback when you have to use your upper body for rotation and the ball and all that stuff. So obviously, one of the biggest strengths that they have is Alvin Kamara, but like they said. There's a lot of great weapons on this team. Emmanuel Sanders, Jared Cook, like they were saying, that Jared Cook always scores up. I don't know what it is, but they rely on a lot of dink and dunk plays. Excuse me, that's kind of a tongue trip, but they rely on a lot of that stuff, a lot of the short yardage plays. But you know what? That could prove to be a problem against us because. Chuck Pagano, we've seen a lot. He likes to lay off and kind of play the sticks a lot more. If we allow the Saints to get a lot of yardage after the catch, which we also saw when we played them, we got that big lead, and then you saw Alvin Kamara go for like 80 yards in one play, and that, like right before the half, I believe it was. And they come down and score right before the half. So you have to be able to shut these guys down. They have a really, really great yard after the catch ability. For most of them, they do. Alvin Kamara, obviously, like I said, he leads in receiving yards. They haven't had Michael Thomas, and they didn't have him against us. But Kamara, if he isn't playing, will be a huge, huge difference. If he is playing, you're gonna have to expect he's gonna have a pretty good game, especially the way that this defense has been going. Unless we never know, because playoffs is a completely different scenario. It's a completely different mindset of practice, day in and day out. So we'll see how Matt Nagy, Chuck Pagano, and the head lead guys, lead their guys into this week. But it's going to be very important to look out for that. We're going to have to see what happens with our personnel as well. Hopefully Jalen Johnson will be back. Like I said, if we're missing Jalen Johnson, that could potentially be a very, very big loss in the passing game because you still shouldn't underlook the receivers as well. The receivers will probably have a good game against us too. But you're going to need Allen Robinson to also step up in this game. But let's just get right into. I'm going to ask you guys what you guys think. Are the key factor? What's the key factor in this game for shutting them down? What is your number one key factor? What's the one thing that we have to do?
I'm going to get pressure on Drew Brees and early and often. I think, while watching Drew Brees this season, I respect him so much, but he's gotten old and a little bit rusty here and there. So if you can get pressure on that guy, make him throw off balance throws, shake him up a little bit, get a couple hits, get him off of this game. I think the Bears put themselves in a good position to win this game. Yeah, like you said, it's the playoffs. Anyone can win. You come in with a 0-0 record. It doesn't matter if you went 12-4, 9-7, 8-8, 10-6 to get in there. As long as you're in there, you can beat any of those teams. And that's what the Bears got to go in with. Nothing to lose. There's nothing to lose against the Saints team. You got to dial up the pass rush early. And you cannot let your linebackers be covering wide receivers when you're dialing up those pass rushes either. Something we saw against the Packers, we'd be dialing up pass rushes. Then you got Danny Trevathan trying to guard Marquez Valdez-Scantling. You cannot do that. You cannot have Danny Trevathan guard Emmanuel Sanders when you're rushing like 8 guys. You got to play smart. Those coverages have to be correct. I think Chuck Pagano has a tough task against him because I very well do see him getting fired at the end of this year, regardless of what happens, just because of how bad the defense, I guess, has been lately. And you don't expect this top 5, top 3 defense, turn into a barely top 15 defense and playing like one of the worst defenses out there, in the last couple of weeks.
I totally agree with what Parth said. But if Alvin Kamara, plays, I continue to say that because if he clears protocol and has a negative test, he will be, playing on Sunday. Be able to stop him. He's their best player right now, for sure. Especially on the offensive side of the ball. They haven't had Michael Thomas the majority of the season. He's been out with injuries, and then he got suspended for having some conflict with one of his teammates. So if we can be able to, shut down Alvin Kamara and, put the ball in Drew Brees' hands, who, like Parth said, is getting rusty since he's getting up there in age, and he might retire at the end of the season. Who knows? So if we can put pressure on him, I think the defense can have a very solid chance at, leaving the Superdome with a W, hopefully.
Yeah, so, if we're looking at both sides of the ball, I'd say the main thing here for defense is you have to shut down Alvin Kamara. I think he's by far the biggest threat on their offense, even though they still have a pretty good team, like you guys said. He's so multi-purpose in the backfield, and his run after the catch ability is just it's ridiculous. He's seriously such an amazing back. He's definitely top 3 in the league. If not, you want to put him up top 2. But yeah, definitely. I think defense is definitely going to have to shut them down. I think it's the main thing. For offense, I really think that you're going to have to establish a run game. I know it's not going to be very easy, but I think if David Montgomery starts off with a very good game, you saw it a lot this season. When Mitch has to throw a lot more, it definitely doesn't really go in our way. I think the best scenario would be David Montgomery gets off to a hot start. Our offensive line has to be given a great push up front. Going to have to be giving Mitch a lot of protection too. I think that, against the Packers, they actually did a really good job. Mitch did not get pressured that much. But you have to realize that there were a lot of really quick plays, a lot of bootleg. Obviously, it was pretty easy to scheme against, Mitch and that Bill Lazor offense, which we've been running the past couple of weeks. So they're going to have to switch some things up. They're going to have to look at different things. They're going to have to show a lot of different things. And hopefully they'll throw off the Saints defense, who you should definitely not be overlooking as well. It's a pretty good defense back there. So I think if you establish a run game early, it opens up a lot of the things in the passing game. It opens a lot more things that you can do with Mitch. Play action, bootleg plays, those will become more effective. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. We're just kind of gonna see what we can do, and it'll be a very interesting weekend. I'm really excited. The nerves are gonna be extremely high, but a Chicago Bears playoff win would make this season just 10 times better. You never know what could happen, man. It could be a Cinderella story. We'll see. But miracles can happen, especially in this league this year. This year is very different. Like Jaylen was saying, there's no fans at the stadium, so that makes a very, very big difference going into this playoff scenario. So that'll pretty much do it for us guys, though. Jaylen, Parth, any last words?
Yeah, it's the playoffs. The Bears don't make the playoffs that often, so I hope you Bears fans are excited for this one on Sunday. 440. I'm excited to see the Bears back in the playoffs. It's 2010, 2018, so the third time this decade, if I'm not wrong. So let's finish it off strong. Let's finish the season strong. Hopefully, we can get a win in the playoffs. We've got, I think, the whole entire world against us, and no one's really picking us to win this game. And I probably won't at the end of the day, but if we can pull this one out, it'd be awesome.
Like Parth said, we started off the 2020s with the playoff appearance. Hopefully, that continues for the rest of the 2020s. But at the end of the day, it's 0-0 in the playoffs. We're not we're an 8-8 team coming in, but at the end of the day, we're trying to be a 3-0 team. When the playoffs is all said and done. Yeah. So that's all that matters at the end of the day.
By the way, interesting fact, I don't know if you knew this, but the last time the Bears got into a wild card spot and they had a lot of things going for them was 1994. And that was a season where they went 9-7, and they were fourth in the NFC Central Division, so a little bit different. But that was when Dave Weinstead was the coach. Their offensive rank was 24th in the league, and their defense was 10th. So it'll be a very interesting. I mean, it's not too far off where we're at right now, to be honest. The offense is a little bit worse, and I think the defense is a little bit worse too, actually. But we are 8-8, so it makes sense. It'll be very interesting to see how this one goes, man. But if you don't remember, in 1994, they actually upset the Minnesota Vikings in that wild card game. So you never know, man. You never know. So that'll pretty much do it for us, guys. But thank you very much for listening, tuning in. If you are new to the channel, please go ahead and subscribe down below. Leave a like. Share with a friend. Share with a Bears fan. We are off to a hot start in 2021. We've been doing some great things. Tom Grassi hopping on the podcast is definitely the start of we've been doing that for a while, but he's been with us a few times. But a start of a long guest list that we're hopeful to have in 2021. We're going to keep bringing great content out to you guys and grind every day. In fact, right after this, we will be bringing you a MVP video that we are probably going to be posting tomorrow, most likely. So look out for that. But yeah, really appreciate you guys and stay safe and bear down. Peace.